the other side of that discomfort is all your wildest dreams. We like to think that we're like the main character. Everyone's just doing their own thing. And if they are judging, I guess that means I'm doing something right. I had exes that were keeping an eye on my channel as well. Do I really care about what they think? I've just come to realize, like, who would I be to like hinder myself and hinder my blessings over what someone could possibly say? I'd be a pussy. What it do, YouTube? Damn, that's what we're doing? What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tay X Millie, back again with another video. So today we're at the park right now. Let me show y'all a little pan of the park. Basically, I wanted to talk to you guys about the fact that everyone is just doing their own thing, right? Everyone is in their own fucking world. Oftentimes, we like to think that we're like the main character. Of course, it's a good mentality to have. It's situational though, right? Because that mentality can also be a hindrance. A lot of the times, it's things that we may want to do deep down, the lives we want to create, right? And we hold back just due simply to the fear of what people are gonna think, their judgment, as if all eyes are on us. When in reality, everyone's just doing their own thing. Think about all the people that you walk past every day. You don't even think to yourself that each and every one of those individual people live singular lives. They have their own list of problems, their own list of worries. They have their own people, families that are important to them. They may have like their own relationships, or they may have just been leaving a relationship, could be going through a breakup. All these people are going through their own things, and we have the audacity at times to think that they give a fuck about what we're going through, about us, right? As if they're thinking, oh, I wonder what Tay's up to. No one gives a fuck what Tay's up to, right? So knowing that, why would I then hinder myself out of fear of judgment? Who is there to judge? Right? And if they are judging, I guess that means I'm doing something right, because that means I got eyes on them. I remember when I wanted to start my YouTube channel, I had some hesitation about it because, of course, like, I'm familiar with how YouTube goes. Like, no one really knows this, but like 3 years prior, I was uploading to YouTube. I was big in the crypto space. I was helping out like small tokens, create advertisements to gain followers and investors and shit. And it was cool, whatever. And even back then, like, I had family members and friends who were hip to my channel, who were hip to what I was doing. And after a while, I fell off, but then like coming back to YouTube most recently, I'm like, yo, damn, people are gonna see me again. Like, what are they gonna think? I started uploading, and to no surprise, no one gave a fuck. No one really paid attention. You know? Yeah, I got some friends that were like, oh shit, you uploading again? Which is cool. I got some family members that kept an eye on my channel. Cool. I had exes that were keeping an eye on my channel as well. All right, but it's like, in the grand scheme of things, like, do I really care about what they think? On a small scale, sure. Like, I'm not gonna pretend I didn't, but like, since growing, since posting more, since speaking with my coach and just like a few of my peers about this whole YouTube shit, I've just come to realize, like, none of this shit fucking matters, you know? I'm over here magnifying someone's possible perception of me if I were to post. And it's only a possible perception. For all I know, they fuck with the shit. They fuck with my channel, they fuck with what I'm posting, they like what I'm doing. And for the most part, that has been the case, but then there's this other side of me, the fearful side of me, the insecure side of me that's like, what are people gonna think about me? They probably think I'm a dork, they probably think I'm corny, they probably think I'm forcing an act or that this isn't me, when in reality it isn't me. I'm just trying, like, you know what I mean? You can't be afraid to try. The best things in life have come out of people trying. You don't get nothing great in life from a low effort. So it's like, you shouldn't be afraid of people seeing you try. And for a lot of men, that is the major fear. Most men are just afraid of looking like they're trying. They want everything to be natural, they want everything to be normal, but in reality, like, if you're learning anything, if you're like trying to garner a skill or just like become a new, better you or achieve a new identity, you gotta try. The fact of the matter is, it's all effort. Speaking in front of a camera like this, usually back at the crib, I'd have a script, you know? I'd have a list of words that I know I'm gonna say. I already know how I'm gonna perform them, like what charisma I'm gonna be using in my videos. But it's like, out here, I'm just talking to you guys. And for me, it isn't like a natural thing to do. This isn't native to me. It's pretty foreign, just speaking to a camera like this. But it is something that I want to get good at, because I know what's on the other side of it is beautiful blessings, just amazing things on the other side of this internet shit, and just putting yourself out there. That's what a lot of people underestimate. But then who would I be to like hinder myself and hinder my blessings over what someone could possibly say? I'd be a pussy. I'd be going against everything I preach on this channel. And I'm sure, like, if you've been following me for as long as you have, or as long as I've been uploading, you would know that I'm all for going after your purpose, going after your dreams, whatever that may be. There's an acronym with FEAR. It's something like false entities appearing real. That's what FEAR stands for, according to the Times 10 rule. It's a book that I've been reading. And it's basically the idea that, like, we magnify the obstacle so much when it comes to fear. We treat it like the worst possible thing will go wrong. We treat it like worst case scenario always. When in reality, there's so many beautiful things on the other side of it. So as a result, we find ourselves magnifying the obstacle, but diminishing the possible benefits, you know? And I'm sure if you ask anyone who's made it at this point, like, have you ever felt insecure? Have you ever felt fearful? Have you ever felt whatever you're pursuing could lead to the worst case scenario? I'm sure they'll be transparent enough to tell you, yeah, that fear is definitely present, but it's also something that you can't let control you, you know? We should be using fear as an indicator of what we should be doing. Even like that sensation of fear tells us when to do it. And that's immediately. Whatever you're feeling unsure of, take it head on, you know? We tend to think, oh, like, the YouTube market is oversaturated, or being an influencer is oversaturated, pursuing a sports career is oversaturated, but it's really not. Like, most people won't do it, just out of fear. You're going against the 99% of people who would just rather remain comfortable and stuck in their own box. A lot of the mindset that we were raised with is safety, like security. It's don't put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Don't take risks, you know? This is the mindset that we were all raised with. But then as a result, now we're kept in this cage and we're not really experiencing our life to the fullest extent. We're not really reaching for the possibilities. That's why everyone lives the same mundane lives. Look at all these fucking cars passing by. And think about, have any of them gone after their wildest dreams? Are any of them in pursuit currently of the wildest dreams? How many of them have been held back from their wildest dreams, you know? And how many of them are settling and living in regret? I guarantee you that 99% of these cars that are moving by fall in that category, right? And that's the category that I want to move away from. I want to escape from. I think that we all should be striving toward our dreams regardless of the outcome. Like, regardless of the fears. You know, the fears is always going to be there. But you know what else is always going to be there? If you don't go after it, regret. There's this quote that says, if you think the price of trying is hard, wait till you get the bill for regret. That's what I fear the most, is regret. That's what I don't want to live with. Because the sad thing about regret is that you can't go back and change it. Once you're 50, 60, it's all in the books. Your life is in the books. Right now I'm 26. I got so much time ahead of me, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of time ahead of me. You never know when a day could be your last day, but even bigger than that, it's like you can't underestimate time because it's unforgivable. As I sit here right now, time's ticking. As you're watching this video, time's ticking. Each of these seconds you could be using. And believe me, if I'm keeping you from something, go close this video and go after it. But if I'm providing with any sense of value and moving toward what you want, then absolutely continue to watch the video. I just want to make sure that I'm providing you an epiphany right now. This life shit, you know what I mean? People talk about balance and people talk about security and just comfort and yeah, life is something to enjoy. At the same time, you gotta keep grinding towards something, right? Enjoyment will be there at the end. At the end of your grind, when everything is said and done, you've put the work in, and then you can be able to kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor, and truly enjoy the fruits of your labor without having any guilt behind it. Yeah, right now it's just a time to just go after what you want. No matter what age you are. Of course, I said I'm 26. I don't give a fuck if you're 40 right now, right? You still have a whole life ahead of you where that could be either spent in enjoyment, in pursuing your goal and you know what I mean, hopefully achieving that goal, or it could be set in misery. It could be spent in misery, in living the rest of your days knowing that you could have gone harder, but you did it in the time. That you were just stuck in a different mindset, the wrong mindset. So I just encourage you to make your own choice and just understand that fear is not anything to shy away from. You want to run towards fear. You want to embrace discomfort, because on the other side of that discomfort is all your wildest dreams. All right? You guys stay good. You guys stay blessed.